Hi, I'm Tom Summers with Edina Realty, and welcome back to my continuing series on the top 10 questions to ask before making an offer on a short sale. Today I want to focus on question 5, which is, will the seller, if asked, be able to pay some money to the bank? This is an important question to ask as well for several reasons. Number one, you want to get an idea what that commitment level is by the seller to get out of the house or to get out from under the debt. What ends up happening is most sellers have this idea that, well, we can just short sale our house and walk away and not owe any money. Well, typically that is the case. Most banks are going to work with them, especially if there's a hardship, but in some situations, if they have a lot of extra assets, the bank may come back and want some money. They typically don't want all that's owed, but they want a percentage of it. So if the answer is yes to this question, it just puts you in a much better position as a buyer that if something does arise towards the end with the approval from the banks, you have an opportunity to keep this deal alive because the seller is going to kick in some money. A lot of sellers don't understand this, but just because they get foreclosed on doesn't mean that it wipes out the debt. Typically on the first it would, but if there's a second loan or even a third loan on the house, if the house goes through foreclosure, the second or third loses its lien to the property, so it has no more interest in that property, but it still holds the promissory note or the promise to pay from the seller, which was the original mortgage document. So they could also still go after the seller to recover some money from what is owed from that house to start with. Usually they won't chase after the seller. They'll end up sending it out to a third-party group. They'll sell it off on maybe 10 cents on the dollar, whatever, and then that collection agency starts coming after the seller. The one unarguable point in this whole thing with a short sale that works to the advantage of the seller is it gives them the opportunity to negotiate globally pretty much with everyone that's involved in the short sale so that they can walk away with no debt and walk away free and clear and not owe any extra money. Having said that though, that's the one advantage over letting it go through foreclosure, because if you're able as a seller to negotiate everything out and get rid of all the debt and have everyone satisfied, then you don't have to look over your shoulder for the next 5 or 6 years or however long, depending on the state statute is, that these lenders can come after you. So by knowing this as a buyer, it really helps you because it puts you in a position of power that you know that you're invested in a purchase agreement that the seller also wants to work things out to move forward. And like I had said earlier, typically it's not a huge amount of money, but the banks sometimes, especially the seconds, are looking for a certain percentage, maybe 20 cents on the dollar. So let's say $50,000 is owed and the first comes back and says, you know, the most we're going to give the second is, you know, $5,000. Well, then whatever the difference is between the $5,000 and the rest of the 20% is usually what that second is looking to get. And in lots of cases, the seller is able to at least come up with part of that or most of that to end up getting rid of the debt and getting everyone to sign off on it. So again, it's important that you know these things because it just makes you a stronger buyer and it helps you to know that what you're writing on has a better chance of actually going through and coming to close so you can own the house. I hope this helped. Thank you so much for taking a few moments of your day to watch this, and look for all of the rest of my videos on my YouTube channel, Realtorology, and this continuing series as we go. Thanks so much and have a great day.